Welcome everyone. This is episode 25 of the Orange Thumbstick Podcast. My name's Dave and I am joined by, as always, Mr. Bobby Fowles. How are you, mate?
I'm not bad, mate. And yourself?
I'm alright, bit under the weather. I think I've got man flu coming. But dose myself up, I'll be alright, I'll be fine, I'm sure I'll be fine. Russ, are you there?
Of course, I'm always here.
How are you doing? You okay?
I'm good, mate.
Excellent. Pretty quiet week in terms of the news. I've been scouring for a fair bit of stuff, but it doesn't seem to be out there. So this week mainly we're going to sort of concentrate on Sea of Thieves, and we have one bit of news which is really, really good in my opinion, and that's the Star Wars Battlefront 2 update, which is going to be rolling out in April. First off, I take it you guys have been playing Sea of Thieves. What do you make of it, Bobby? What do you think of it?
I love it. I love the beta. I've been loving the actual game itself. Still haven't came across a Kraken yet, which I'm holding out for, but I'm really enjoying it.
How does it differ to the beta? Is there much more to it, or?
A lot of people said that they've seen these in the beta, but I didn't. I never noticed snakes. I found it really difficult to find crates to capture chickens and pigs. Obviously, when we were playing, I didn't have access to all the different. What's the word I'm looking for? Obviously, you've got the gold guy in the tent.
Traders.
You deliver your chests to. The traders, that's the one I'm looking for. I didn't have access to all of the traders. It came in on one of them and I missed it. And then on the next one, it literally just had the gold trader for the chests. So we've got all of them now. You can obviously change your ships around. You can buy different designs for them, different ornaments for the front of it. So yeah, there's quite a lot there. They've also got like events that they have. At the forts where it's got the skull above it. I believe that was in the beta, but I never checked it out if it was. I never checked it out until the game went live, and myself and Russ have been smashing them and really, really, really enjoying it.
Russ, what about you, mate? Because I know this is one of the games that you've been pretty excited for. You've played pretty much all the alpha testers and everything, and you know what are you getting from the full product now? Are you getting good vibes from it?
Yeah, you need to have, and we knew this from the experience of the alphas and the betas, you do need to have a full crew to get the best experience out of the game. So maybe there's room for improvement there, making the experience better for smaller crews, even single players. We spoke about it earlier on, Dave, didn't we, of how difficult it is to man a sloop by yourself. So maybe there should be implementations of things like having the full world map available on command for single players, rather than having to run all the way down to the bottom of the ship and leaving it sailing at full speed towards a rock, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're right. We were talking just before, and I just jumped into a solo game, and although I can see why they've done it, because they want to add sort of authenticity, it was a pain in the ass, because I'd done my sails, I was steering the ship in the direction that I needed to go, and then I was like, well, okay, I need to sort of get a more precise direction here. So I had to leave the wheel, I had to go down into the cabin underneath, and I had to look at the map to see where I was going. Then I had to run back up and sort of steer in the right direction, and it was kind of from A to B where I was going from and to, I had to sort of check the map probably twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
And in that time, I could be crashing into a rock or anything, So maybe some, like you say, some fine tuning there, maybe to make it a little bit more accessible. Not easier, not simpler, just more accessible. Maybe, like you say, move the table up or something, or But have you come across? Either of you come across anything that's sort of stood out aside from the beta in terms of this major go, wow, that's pretty good? Anything majorly different or stands out?
Not really. I say it's just more of the little bits that we've had tasters of throughout the alphas and beta tests have all come together to be one full game now. As Bob said, the fort things earlier on, which are classed as like mini raids. So you go and he's got waves and waves and waves of enemies to fight, different variants of the skeletons, and then a boss, like captain at the end. Then you get his key, very reminiscent of the school key from the Goonies. That's my first impression I got of that. Then you go and open this door, and then there's a room full of like chests and skulls, and the one thing as well that a lot of people have mentioned recently is they struggle to get to grips with what they're actually supposed to be doing. You know, map reading is one, and then general navigating is another, and just where to go. So the game maybe needs a bit more direction, maybe a small tutorial for people to get to learn things as well. There's quite a lot of
I
people.
don't get the map reading.
I don't, but
Ross.
it's a case of,
one.
I think it's because we're of a certain age, mate, a certain vintage. You get taught map reading from a young age. I'm sure we did one or two orienteering courses when we was at school. Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
Well, I don't think they do, no. Maybe it is a generational thing, age thing, I don't know, but, you know, I don't understand why people would have problems reading a map. You know, people don't necessarily have problems reading a map on GTA, do they? It's no different, really. You just got to check it rather than it being in the corner of your screen, you know.
I think it's the whole compass bearing thing. People just don't understand how it all works. Like standing, getting,
but even that,
looking north and then holding, because all your maps point north when you look at them. Like the bottom to the top of the page is south to north, and people don't understand that in direction with having a compass that moves as you turn around. It's very disorientating for a lot of people. Very odd.
I don't get why it is. I don't know. Wow.
It'll be because in today's day and age, technology's taken over, so everyone uses things like sat
can I get a sat nav DLC for my ship?
Yeah, we had I don't know if you've ever had to use them, but we had them A to Z map books that were an absolute nightmare, but that's how I learned how to read maps.
No, me and Russ had scrolls.
We had scrolls, mate.
Scrolls, did you?
Yeah, we didn't have the luxury of A to Z.
Yeah,
you know,
follow the North Star and all
scrolls.
that.
You just had like words scribed into rocks, didn't you?
Who, me?
It's not that much older than me.
You're the oldest.
2 years.
He's a both ancient to me, lads.
You cheeky bastard. Etched into stones. Bloody millennials.
Tell me about it.
Oh, shut up. Don't start that one.
I don't understand the sort of map reading. The thing that got me, again, we spoke about this before, was the quest for the chickens. It was like, you got to go and get a red chicken and a white chicken, basically. White feathered and a red feathered chicken. And it was like, okay, you've got to go to this outpost. I went to the outpost, but I didn't quite know where to go or what I was doing at the outpost. I think that kind of thing needs a little bit more direction. Because... Yeah.
Well, it took us, like I said to you earlier, it took us 3 to 4 days to work out, because we was like, where'd you get chicken coops from? We was looking for them on islands, not realising that you just go and pick them up. There's also like dates as well on some of the missions. You got to complete them before a certain time and a certain day. And again, at the beginning we was like, okay, and it wasn't until I opened the little pocket watch that you got. Again, there's no explanation that you got a pocket watch. It's just there on the wheel, and that's got a obviously in game time as it ticks around, and there's also just a generic date. There's no months or anything, it's just dates. So it'll say, you've got to get this done by 10 o'clock on the 26th, and then you can open your pocket watch and it'll say that you're on the 20th. So you've got 6 in-game days to finish your mission.
There was some issues, weren't there, earlier on in its launch with servers and everything sort of going down and whatever, and I think everybody jumped on that bandwagon. Did you guys experience any sort of outages or anything? I know on your one of the streams you did originally, it was taking its time to find a game. Did you have many server issues?
No, the only issue we had, which again was on one of the streams, was your end, wasn't it, Bob? Because I took over as host for us, and then it worked straight away. So it was down on Saturday, which was yesterday, for maintenance. So again, a lot of people complained why you're taking it down on a weekend, but you got to remember these guys, they're working all hours of the day throughout the week. They're taking whatever time they can to keep the game running. So it's a tricky one when you've got an online only game to when to take the servers offline. They've got to try and work it towards when the majority of their players are going to be offline, which unfortunately for us is going to be the US players when they're all off in bed, so that they would have technically been doing it early hours of the morning Saturday for US, wouldn't they, having it offline when they did yesterday.
That's just not good enough, because I came online yesterday to have a Sea of Thieves day, and if you remember correctly, I rang you and was close to tears because the servers were down until 2 p.m.
As before, you can't please everybody all of the time. The amount of self-entitlement that there is these days is, at the end of the day, just go with the flow, man. The game will be up and running. I say that's the only issue I've seen with the game is this little glitch people have found where they can make boats ping off into the air, and it's quite funny. Very reminiscent of the GTA 4 swing glitch where you could ping your cars across the map.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But other than that, it's the only real issues I've ever seen with the game so far. So maybe need to try and again, it's about fine balancing. But there's often we played for hours and we wouldn't see another ship. And to say that you're supposed to be on a ever changing server setup. And maybe need a little bit of a tweak as well, because it would be nice to have a few more of those ship-to-ship combat battle things, because we found ourselves just going off doing missions and completely forgetting that we was on an open game multiplayer.
Maybe that's a conscious effort from Rare, though, in terms of they want people to sort of take in the experience and level up and, do some of the things that they need to do to get into the game, and then maybe they will do that later on.
Yeah.
In terms of sort of allowing, different portals of different ships coming in and things like that. Maybe at the moment it's just, pardon the pun, but sort of steadying the ship, making sure everything
which
runs
is fair
smooth,
enough.
and
fair enough.
Good. I mean, from what I've played of it, it's it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. They're obviously going to sort of continue to update it and add new things. And it was the most streamed game as well, launch, and I think it had the most viewers or something. It was number one on the streaming sites.
Yeah.
So yeah. It looks promising. It's been less than a week since its release, and apart from a few little hiccups, it's been relatively successful. So kudos to everyone at Rare. We've spoken sort of quite frequently over the last, say, 6 months, and I think it was about 6 months ago that we first spoke about this little topic that we're going to talk about now. Star Wars Battlefront 2. And the whole EA microtransactions thing, it's all changing, and it's changing for the better. The gaming community have won, as far as I'm concerned, with this. Do you two know much about what's gone on over the last couple of weeks?
I'll be honest, the microtransaction thing was battering my head in, so I stopped following it. I got all my updates from you. Okay. So yeah, I haven't seen anything, mate.
Okay.
I haven't been looking, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Basically, EA said that they were going to relaunch microtransactions, and everyone went crazy because, and we were amongst those people that went crazy. EA then listened again and sort of said, well, okay, we'll bring them back, we'll remodel them, we'll do this and we'll do that. Everyone kind of didn't believe them when they said that. But recently there was an update. I think it was either Monday, I'm trying to think where we're at now. Tuesday gone, I think it was. And it was basically sort of preparing the game for the main update that's coming in April, which is to do with microtransactions. What they have basically done is they have changed all monetary transactions to be cosmetic only. The only way that you can progress in the game is by playing the game. There are no boosters, there are no advantages, there are no pay-to-win weapons and things like that in loot crates and whatever else. You can still get the loot crates, but those come from levelling up in a natural kind of way throughout the game. You can also buy crates with crystals that you can buy with real world money, but those are only cosmetics. They are not to level up. They are not any advantages or anything like that. That is coming in April. They've also said that anybody that has purchased things in the past, quite rightly, will be able to keep those items. They won't lose them, but going forward from their update, everything will be cosmetic. They've also added, which is this interesting little snippet here, they've also added customization. So what this is basically, you can customize your characters. So if you want Darth Vader to wear cream pieces of armor, you can do that. You can also customize everything in terms of their attire. I'm not sure if you can do hairstyles, but their weapon choices and things like that. And interestingly, this is the reason why they never made it cosmetic only in the microtransactions, because they said that it would be outside of the Star Wars canon in terms of it wouldn't fit. Do you remember the driving games? I think it was Forza originally, where there was no car damage, or was it Gran Turismo? Because the car manufacturers wouldn't allow damage on the cars. Yeah. Well, it was a similar thing with Star Wars. The licensees didn't really want anything happening to, the trademarked sections of the characters.
Yeah.
But they've changed it. They've basically said, well, okay, well, you can do that now. So not only basically have they completely changed it all, but they've gone back on the original plan.
So the question here is, can we have pink Darth Vaders? That's the question everybody wants answering.
Yeah, I would have thought so. If the option is there, if the cosmetic option is there, I would have thought so, yeah.
Can we have orange stormtroopers, though?
Possibly. Who knows, mate? Who knows?
I might have to get the game.
But the key thing here is there's no play to win and there's no advantages for people spending money. The leveling up system is natural. However much you play the game is however much you level up. The only advantage people will have over you is those people that have probably got more time to play the game, which is fair dues, fair enough, that's fine.
And those that pumped loads of money into it before the microtransactions have been changed will still have that advantage, because there will no doubt be, they'll probably peg back the leveling up to a point where people will probably start screaming for microtransactions again. I'm always dubious about stuff like this. They say one thing and then it gets overturned eventually. Then they'll do something to want people to say, hang on, let's have microtransactions back again because the leveling up system's too slow. Or people are just kick and scream until they get it right.
Maybe, but this update is pretty big. This whole model has been completely reworked. For them to get back on that one again, would take a hell of a lot of work. And I think, we're coming up to April now. E3 is only around the corner. I'm sure they don't really want to be sort of working on a new business model for Star Wars Battlefront, nearly sort of 10 months after it was released.
Yeah.
I think this is a really, really, really good thing for gaming in general, and it shows that the community have got a voice. And you're right, Russ. It could be an ulterior motive of, we'll do what everybody wants, but then when they start screaming out for it, we'll reintroduce it and everything. I think the voice of the people that don't want them is louder than the voices of the people that do, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But it's a step in the right direction, as is the ESRB thing from a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was very smoky and hazy what ESRB did and what they're going to do going forward, but that can be built on, and if nothing else, it's a sign of intent that the industry's taking note. So all good.
It's nice that they're taking note, but the original way that they had the microtransactions set up, whoever sat there and thought that was a good idea is an idiot. And people pay to get an advantage just was stupid. And I know that you're coming into this quite positive, Dave, because you're right in what you're saying. They've done a big change and stuff, but I've still got a really bad taste in my mouth about it.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Bob. So have I. I've got a really bad taste in my mouth about it as well. But I'm not sort of talking about this in the sense of, oh, well done, EA, thank you, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I am simply highlighting this because it just shows the power of the voice. I'm celebrating the community with this, not EA, not the fact that they've adjusted it. I'm celebrating the community, kicking up a stink about how pissed off they were with their business model. And the proof is here in this update in April. The proof is here that voice was heard, and it's proof that if everybody comes together and says no and boycotts a product, it gets changed. Because this is ultimately what this is down to. A lot of people boycotted that game. I was one of them. That was a day one purchase for me all day long until that microtransaction business model came in. As soon as it came in, I don't care how good the game was, how good it is. I was not buying that game.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to buy it. I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm still not going to buy this game because, you know, as much as they're changing it and whatever else, there is still going to be a lot of people that are going to have an advantage, and me jumping in against those people, it's not going to be too much fun. But for the people that are already in the game and have already got a set level and whatever else, it kind of levels that playing field a little bit more. So,
Yeah.
it's a celebration for the community, not for EA. EA can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned with microtransactions. But sticking with it, EA, Russ, I want to speak to you about your Burnout Paradise review, because you give it a raving review. Was it 8.5?
Mm-hmm.
You give it, I think.
Yep.
And we discussed, didn't we, that I was kind of, I wasn't sure about whether
You were quite
you know.
negative about it when we first discussed it on the podcast a few weeks ago. You was quite against it, but then, as you've said to us earlier in the week, and you've seen more and more of the game, you want to start trying it to maybe take a look at it now. So,
yeah.
What is your opinion on it now then?
I like the look of it. You know, after reading your review, it's made me want to check it out and maybe give it the benefit of the doubt a little bit. I mean, I was very defensive over Burnout Paradise because it had not long been on Games with Gold. It was backwards compatible, and you know, I didn't see really much benefit apart from the 4K visuals for the £30 price point, 35 quid, whatever it is. But your review, obviously, it's got all the DLC and everything in there. Just for anybody that hasn't read the review yet, please go and check it out. But until then, Russ, just give us a summary of how it differed to the original and how it stands out a little bit more.
Yeah, well, for me, Burnout Paradise is one of those games it sticks with you. I enjoy playing the original quite a lot. I've always been a car game guy anyway, and a lot of my good memories of playing something decent was playing that. I know it's not in the game now, but again, I mentioned this in the review, was the way you could use the vision camera to... Yeah. Well, we all were sticking middle fingers up at each other because it'd take a picture of you when you was playing online. If you smashed into your mates or other people, it'd take a picture if you had the vision camera in. So middle fingers galore it was, and it was quite funny. We used to do crashing into each other and all that sort of stuff. So that game does have a little place in my heart. And I was like you. I will be honest. At first, I was a bit like, oh, another remaster. But I give it the benefit of the doubt, and it's good. You can tell it's a little rough around the edges in some places. You can tell it's an old game, but for a 10-year-old game to be remastered the way that has been done is a testament to the original, how good it was.
Yeah.
And like you said there's you can play it backwards compat if you want, but if you want the full 4K experience and you've never played the game before, then you might as well buy the remaster because you get all the DLC with it. Weighing it up, it's cheaper by quite a lot to get it as that the remaster bundle. You get all the DLC, so the Big Surf Island, the legendary car packs, the toy cars, the Cops and Robbers DLC. That's all there. So visually as well, it's really crisp. And there
were a couple of little
frames.
bits though that you found.
Yeah, so there was like small things. So some of the cars, like in the wheel arches, you can see there's a few angular little bits, and some of the scenery. But I was off up in the mountains at the top of the map where there's a train track you can find and drive along. And there was a couple of carriages along there where it was really bad, low asset visuals. But other than that, yeah, a game where you're going to be driving at speed, to be driving around slowly and nitpicking little things like that, it's a bit silly, I think. But again, you sort of cover your backside by saying, yeah, there's a few issues with the visuals. But as for frame rate as well, 60 frames solid. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. So anybody that's on the fence, go and check out Russ's review of Burnout Paradise Remastered. It is a good read. I finished Assassin's Creed Origins main campaign earlier on this week.
Yeah.
Bobby, I know you're not an Assassin's Creed fan, but I urge you to play that. I urge you to play that game.
It's good.
Aye, I'll check it out.
I think you should, and I think anybody that loves Assassin's Creed but fell out of love with the series and haven't jumped into this one yet, I think you should. It is by far one of the best games of last year, and if I'd have played it last year, it probably would have got my game of the year, to be honest, ahead of Shadow of War. But with the nature of everything that was sort of going on towards the end of last year, I never got a chance to play it till early this year. Tremendous campaign, tremendous game, and without giving any spoilers away, the ending is fantastic. There you go, Bobby, an F-bomb, fantastic.
Been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it.
It's nothing. The ending isn't anything sort of like explosive and sort of spectacular set piece, and it's nothing like that. It's little subtle things that happen throughout the end sequence, which it's all playable, but it kind of, it's, how can I explain? The ending is like a chapter of a game. It's not just like a boss battle or anything like that. It's a very sort of progressive chapter that then comes to sort of like an end. But all the little things that happen within that chapter, it's just brilliant, just really, really good. So I urge people to jump into that. So apart from Sea of Thieves, Russ, what have you been playing last week or so?
Just a little bit of this and that. Western Press was one game. What else? Obviously a bit of Rocket League.
As always.
And yeah, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it, mate.
I've been playing something, but I don't know if I can talk about it yet. Can I talk about it? I can't, can I?
Don't know.
That one that
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know Bobby knows what I'm on about.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mate, I'll talk about it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I think now we're going to find out what Mr. Bobby Fowles has been playing, because do you know what time it is, Bobby?
I don't know, Dave. What time is it?
It's time for Bobby Fowles presents Something for the Weekend.
This week in Something for the Weekend, I've been taking a look at Western Press. It's a QTE style game, and me and Russ played it, so I'm going to get you to jump in any second, Russ. Basically, you get to select your character, go in, and then you're basically doing a duel, and you get some buttons that come up on the side of the screen, and you have to hit them in a certain combination. Whoever does it the fastest wins. Most of the game modes that you play, you get 2 lives, so you've got 2 chances of winning or dying. And then the very final one, when you take part in a tournament, I think we were playing 16-player tournaments when I was playing with Russ. When you get the final one, it is literally just one shot, and that's it. It has a very small campaign to it, which once you get to, I think it was level 8, it only goes to 9 levels, and level 8 was, I still haven't managed to get past it. I think you have, Russ, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm on the final duel of the single player.
Yeah, once you get to that, it's like, it's another level. I think I was getting like 3-second combinations of hitting the QTE style button thing, and it wasn't quick enough. I think the fastest I ever got was like 2.6 or 2.8 seconds, and even that was getting his beta times. So you really need to have your game jumped up. It's priced at £6.39, which is $7.99 and €7.99, and it was released on the 23rd of March 2018. It is definitely something you should check out. When I first looked at it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this, but I got addicted. It's a very, very addictive game, and it's very competitive when you're playing with friends, because if I remember correctly, I don't think Russ has beat us yet, and that's a first. That's a first in the world that Russ hasn't beat us at a game. But yeah, it's really, really good. Other things I've been playing this week are TT Isle of Man. That's a really good racing game, motorbike racing game. It took me a lot to get into that. a hell of a lot. As you all know, I'm not very good with racing games. It took us a while to get into it, but I did start picking up new skills. The rear end of the bike was a little bit twitchy all of the time, but again, if you just feather your throttle and take your time a little bit, you'll end up winning the race. You can check out my review on the website for that. And just like Russ, I've been playing Rocket League and Sea of Thieves.
So your back end was a bit twitchy?
Just a little bit, mate. It was as twitchy as a rabbit's nose.
Your back end was a bit twitchy, so
My
you
back end
urged
was a bit
people
twitchy,
to
mate.
up the throttle.
No. Feather the throttle.
Feather, okay. So
You've got to get that feather
approach.
tickle in there, mate. Yes.
More gentle approach. Okay. Do you want to explain to our listeners what a QTE is, Bobby? Because there's bound to be a few that are thinking, what's QTE?
QT is a quick time event. It's a bit like when you have your cutscenes and you have to press like X or B. You have to press one of your buttons in time. With this game being a selection of buttons on the side and it's the quickest to get down to the bottom, it's kind of like a QTE, but that's why we've been seeing QTE style. If you just imagine... What was that game called? Rock Band? If you imagine Rock Band, but instead of just popping up as and when, it's just a straight list down the side that you need to hammer out as quick as possible.
Wonderful. Sounds good, actually. Sounds like a really good game. Russ, do you want to plug website, social media, and video streaming channels?
Yep, so don't forget to head over to xboxgamerreviews.com for all our latest news, reviews, and giveaways over there. And you can go and follow us on Twitter at Xbox_GR and on Facebook too. That's facebook.com/XboxGamerReviews. And of course, head over to YouTube for all of our videos. That's youtube.com/XboxGamerReviews.com. And don't forget to head over to Mixer and follow us on there too, because we are streaming now at least once a week. So that's mixer.com/XboxGamerReviews.
Brilliant. And I just want everybody to know that Bobby has got somebody following him on Twitter that he's very proud of. Do you want to tell our listeners, Bobby, who's following you on Twitter, if he still is?
He's still following us. I don't know how it happened, but one day I just went and looked, and well, actually, that's a lie. I got questioned by my partner, the missus, asking us why Gordon Ramsay was following us. So I decided to show you two. And do you want to tell the listeners what you done, Dave?
No. I just want to know how he's following you.
I told you. It's because he thought he was Rob Beckett, that's why.
Thought I was Rob Beckett. That's what it is. I'm going to have to tweet Rob Beckett now and have a word with him, because he could be going around impersonating me for all we know.
Could be.
But what if secretly you're Rob Beckett and Gordon Ramsay's love child, allegedly?
Maybe I am. Do you think I should start putting streams up and saying like Rob Beckett plays instead of Bobby Fields?
Could do. Could it be like Drake plays Fortnite and we can get really big off of it?
Yes.
Right, that is it for this week. Me and Russ are off to teach Bobby how to read a map. We'll see you next week. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.